usually do. First of all, I thought our guys did a pretty good job tonight. I thought pretty consistent on both ends of the floor. I thought we defended pretty well. I think we can defend better, but I thought we defended pretty well. I thought our offensively, I thought we really moved that ball and shared the ball really well tonight. And guys were really making the extra pass, and we had a lot of unselfish plays out there. Really helps us offensively to keep everybody involved when we do that. But I felt like our guys did a nice job. I was pleased with our effort, and you know, I still think we can get a lot better defensively, and we need to, obviously before Saturday. But when we get up our pressure up and we got our urgency up, when we had that tonight, I thought we really bothered them. We got them to turn the ball over. When we didn't, we played a little bit back on our heels and just kind of a little bit softer than they got what they wanted. And we just got to learn. We've got to have that sense of urgency every possession. But it was a good team win. I thought a lot of guys, everybody contributed, and I thought they did a good job.
When Bamford starts knocking down shots like that, does it take a couple before you start calling plays for him, or does after he hits one, do you go back to him and you feel like he's got the hot hand?
No, if we feel like he's got it going, we're going to run some stuff for him. You know, he got one going in transition there, and I'll tell you what, every one of his threes was assisted by somebody. We had guys making an extra pass. Dev Berry, I think, got 2 or 3 of them where he could have had the shot. Dev turned down the shot to get him the shot, and other guys too. But you know, once Scott looked real comfortable tonight, he was getting some really good open looks, and we ran a couple things for him, obviously, to try to get him a couple more looks. But the best way that he got him tonight, I thought, was in transition and guys just making that extra pass to get him one.
I think you know, you're talking about your defense. It seemed to start just the moment they came to half court. I mean, you put pressure on, and they couldn't really get into a solid kind of offensive flow at all.
Yeah, that was kind of our plan, and that's kind of what we try to do every game if we can, is we got to put a lot of heat on that point guard. And when we're up pressure in the way we want to, it starts with our point guards. And, you know, we want to actually pick them up 3/4 court, start working them. But when our pressure's really good up top, and I thought Jordan and Jalon did a real good job of that tonight, everybody else kind of falls into line, and everybody else gets their pressure up, and everybody gets a little more excited. And so it starts with them. And we tell our point guards all the time, you got to get up and you got to set the tone. And plus, we wanted to really work hard on that their point guard, who's a really good player. And he needed to feel our heat. He needed to feel like we were going to be there all night long and not let him get going, because he's our leading scorer. And I thought we did a pretty good job on him.
It just seems like teams aren't able to compete with you athletically at this point in time, especially in conference play. Do you agree with that, or is that a fair assessment?
Maybe. I thought Portland State did. Portland State's pretty athletic. You know, I think there's some teams that we feel like we might have an advantage there. You know, we tried to become that kind of team this year after last year. In the last couple of years, I thought we were too unathletic, so we recruited to it. But I think there's a few teams in the league we might feel like we might have an upper hand there. There's going to be some teams in the league where we're not going to probably have that much of an advantage. But it's nice to have. It's nice to know that, you know, that athleticism and speed, when you make a defensive mistake, you can still catch up. You know, with a couple of our teams in the past, when you make a mistake, you're not going to get there and you're going to get burned. But we've got some good athleticism, and it helps us in transition. It helps us with our defensive presence. It helps us in every area, and it's nice to have. That's for sure. We'll see as a team. We see more teams throughout conference play. You know how they stack up athletically, but with a couple teams, for sure, a few teams, we're going to have that effort.
Randy, knowing, you know, obviously you want to improve every game, but right now, as you look at it, are you where you'd like to be? Are you where you'd like to be?
You know, people have been asking me that. I don't know. I always think we need to get a lot better. It's just my nature. I don't think I never think I do a good enough job coaching them. I never think that I wonder if we're playing hard enough. I watch every damn practice tape. Stu told me, quit watching practice tapes. He told me that last year. He says, you don't need to be watching practice tapes. But I go home at night and I worry. And so I always want us to be better. But I'll be honest, I'm pleased with how this team has come together, how well they're playing together. I think the chemistry is good, really good. They like each other, and they're really unselfish. And so from that standpoint, I would say we're probably a little ahead of where I thought we might be, because of we have some new guys, we have some inexperienced guys that are playing more roles now. So, but again, I always think we should be a lot better. I never think, to be honest with you, and I shouldn't say, I never think we're quite good enough, and we got to keep pushing. And I guess that's kind of how I am, and that's a sickness I have. But this team can get a lot better. They can really get a lot better, and we're going to keep pushing. I told them that in the locker room. You know, you win a couple games, and you can do two things. You can relax and think you got it, you're okay, and the minute you relax, you get beat. We all know that. Or you can keep that edge and that urgency, and we're going to push you and get better. All right, and so we'll see what happens. But no, overall though, I'm pretty pleased with where we're at, with what we had starting the year and with what we lost. I mean, we lost a 6th-round draft pick.
Right.
Usually, if your Big Sky School is a 6th-round draft pick, you don't make up for that. And we lost 2 other key pieces in Bollinger and Mo. So what they've done and how they've come together so far, I'd say I'm pleased, but I definitely want more, and I know we can get a lot better.
What do you think creates that unselfishness? That is it the chemistry, or the unselfishness creates the chemistry?
You know, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the chemistry is good, and I think when guys like each other, they enjoy in their success, and they like to participate in their success. And I think when you have a team that might start off a little unselfish and they like to make the extra pass, it becomes contagious. And so, and I think that's what's happened to us a little bit. I think as we started practice, guys were moving the ball and making the extra pass, and we were really emphasizing it. And now it's like they like it, and it becomes a little contagious. So, but it's both. We have very unselfish play. Davion Barry is a perfect example. I mean, he leads us in assists, and he's a very talented player, as we know. Now, he got a lot of attention tonight. They were not going to let him go crazy tonight. And he still has 5 assists. And he's been averaging about a little over 7 assists for the last 3-4 games. And he's a very talented player. So when a guy like that plays that way, everybody else becomes contagious. And he does such a good job of getting other guys' shots. But it's a fun style to play.
I was going to say, what's it like for you when you see them passing up good shots and making that last one and get a great shot?
You know, it's terrific. I love it. I mean, that's the way basketball's supposed to be played. I believe basketball's supposed to be played inside out, and the guys making the extra pass, and guys turning down an average shot to get a really good shot. And you know, you preach that stuff, and we talked to the team about shot selection early in the season, and our whole deal was, you know, we're going to park that ball as close to the basket as we can. I think I told you guys, when you go to the mall, you try to park as close to the front door as you can, so you don't have to walk as far. Same thing in basketball. We want that ball parked in there. Now, when they do take that away and we move it out, and now you get the ball moving, it's hard to guard, you know. But you know, it's a good feeling as a coach to know that these guys are unselfish and they don't care who gets the credit. They want to win basketball games, and they enjoy their teammates' success. It's a good feeling. Now, you got to keep it. It's a long season, and you hope that everybody continues to buy into that. I think this group will. But as long as you got it, it's very rewarding as a coach to know you got some guys that are very unselfish.
Thank you.
You bet.